Okay. So see here, Tim, yesterday we just had a discussion about SAP end-to-end flow. Is anyone automated that flow? Any one of you? Please confirm me, team. Okay. So here, Tim, the database testing. So using Tricentis Tosca, we can do a database testing also. Okay. To perform this particular DB testing, at least we required a basic knowledge on SQL queries. Basic knowledge on SQL queries. Structured query language knowledge team. Okay. So Tosca point of it is a completely codeless automation only. But whenever we are interacting with the database, or if you are trying to retrieve some information from the database, to perform such actions, make sure we have to know a basics of SQL query, structured query language here. Okay, so how to create the data? So create the data here and how to retrieve a data. What are the data? It's there in a database. How to retrieve that particular data here. If you want to update the data, then how to do updating of the data. So we can perform any action here, but you have to write a SQL query for that. Write a SQL query for that. So coming to Tosca point of view, how we interact with the databases using a Tosca. If you are trying to interact with these databases, Tim, so make sure we required a setup is required here. Setup is required. Because Tosca is very flexible to support any kind of database. Must you have to perform ODBC setup here. Must you have to perform ODBC setup here. So here, team, you can work with any kind of database with Tosca automation, but the thing is setup is required. This is not a part of installation. This is not a part of installation. Okay. Whenever you are trying to do some installations here, this is not a part of installations. So must we have to do this setup manually. In real time, what exactly happens? Whenever we are trying to set up the database, team, we just raise a ticket to DB team. We just raise a ticket to the DB team stating like our requirements to set up the databases. Okay. What are the databases? It's already available. We just ask them to set up the connection for an automation point of view. So in automation point of view, we just ask them to provide a setup accordingly. So what are the connection details they just provide here? What connection details they provided to us? We use a same connection details here in Tosca to connect to the databases. As coming to a real-time point of view, we don't have a direct access to the databases to check the things. Okay. So as an automation tester, if you have a DB access, then you can ask the DB team to provide the connections. So which connection it is? It is a ODBC connections. Once they provide the ODBC connections, we use that ODBC connections to run the scenarios in a databases. Okay. This connection is required. So what connection, how to set up this connection, I already noted here. Let me show you in our Word document. I'm just going completely down. So this is the DB connection related screenshots team. If we scroll here, this is a database testing completely. This one is completely a database testing. So maybe in interviews, did you have a knowledge on database testing? Say yes. So we just validated the data. Okay. What exactly the use case here? So let me explain some use case. whenever you are doing a functional testing, whenever you are doing some functional testing, if you perform some action, let us assume I just done the registration. Once this registration is completed, make sure to validate the data, the recent registration data is populated in our database or not. So as a manual tester, what we do, we basically do the registration manually, and then once it is done, we just do the validation manually again. Go to the database and open the respective tables and validate the data is populated or not. But whenever we are interacting with the database to check a certain actions or replicated into a database level, that time you can use this database related standard modules. To perform a DB actions in Tosca, we do have a standard modules here. Directly use the standard module subset to interact to the database to run the scripts. So let me show you how to set up the thing. If you go to the document, I just noted everything very clearly. Any kind of database testing, there is no default setup. We need to set up ODBC setup. Okay, and SQL basics are required. So the main purpose is here. So whenever you are doing some front-end validation, do cross-check the data is populated in our respective database or not. Okay, this is one kind of DB testing. The another kind of DB testing is like extract and load and extract the database from one warehouse to another warehouse. So that is very big data processing. To do those big data processing tip, so we use data integrity testing here. Okay. So right now we are discussing the database testing with ODBC setup and then how to validate data which is there in your database level. Okay. So in real time team, we used to raise the ticket and how to create a table in Tosca Commander. What are the things is required? We just pass our prerequisite here. So accordingly, they do the setup and they'll give a required information to us. Okay. Now coming back to here, how to set up this particular database. The initial thing is here, open your system. So right now we have to do a practice, right? Just open your Windows search and search here ODBC data source. I'm just doing same thing here. Go to Windows search, ODBC data source, 34-bit. Once you open this one, this is a source administrator. Here, let me show you here. Here, team, you can see user DSN, system DSN, file DSN, and what are the drivers it's available in your system. The number of drivers also you can see here. The tracing, connection, polling, and debugging. You can see each and every information here. So here, once you log into the data source administrator, go to system DSN and add your DSN connection here. For example, add. Once you select this add option here, you can see the driver. Select a driver for which you want to set up a data source. So what data source you are trying to set up, select that respective data source. So what exactly it means, team? So Microsoft Access driver, everyone able to see Microsoft Access driver. What exactly it is? See, if you have MS Office in your system, if you search with the Microsoft Access driver, everyone able to see database management system. We have these files in our system team. If you install complete MS Office in your system, you can see here that option. Create PowerPoint presentation. Like this here, you can see directly a Microsoft Access driver. So that is an inbuilt option. Everyone can see it. Okay. If you have MS Office, it's very easy for you to work with that. But right now, so here, how to connect to the real-time databases like MS SQL Server or Oracle, or how to connect to that. To connect to that team, we use the respective data sources here. See here ODBC data, ODBC driver 17 for SQL Server native client RGA. Like this, if you have Oracle, then use the Oracle related driver here. So what are the databases it's available? Definitely you can see those all database are drivers here. Okay. So right now what you guys can do, initially try to install Microsoft. So SQL Management Studio team, SQL Server Management Studio, try to do a installation of this particular one, SQL Server Management. If you open this particular one, so directly it open. So I already installed this one. That is the reason I do have in my system. So at the time of opening team, it directly asks you to connect to this particular one. This is my server name, localhost SQL Express. Just copy this and then connect it. Why I'm taking copy? If you want to connect this particular MS SQL Server team, here you have to select SQL Server, finish. Once you finish this one, just enter your name of the server data source name, and here just enter your server details. Then check this server is connected or not. That stuff is required. So I'm just giving connection name is S1 is my connection name, and here it is telling like a new ODBC data source will be created with following configuration. Your data source name is S1 and the server is S1 and the database default database system. It is taking a default database only. Okay. So test data source. Now I'm just performing a test action here. So the test still failed here. So because let me check why the test is failed, running connectivity test and server does not exist. So server does not exist or access is denied. You'll get this information here. Okay. So 1 second, let me use again. Okay. Um, so I'm just checking the databases, what databases it's available. Let me pick here NICDB. So I'm just taking here the database data source is SQL Server. The name is here NIC. And here, this one is the SQL Server. Next. So here team, once you perform next, so here directly to connect to SQL Server, obtain default settings for the additional configurations options. Next. So here, next, finish. So whenever you are trying to finish, it is checking the connection details is valid or not. Let me do test connection. Everyone able to see test completed successfully? Team? So this is a completely one type of setup we do use for databases team. So if you are trying to use this particular one team, make sure you don't have directly administrator access in real time, but in your laptop, try to do a setup like this. Okay. To do this particular setup team, so the required installation document related stuff I'll add here. I'll just added a screenshots which is belongs to a Microsoft Access driver here. Microsoft Access driver is nothing but Team OneDrive, Microsoft OneDrive. If you have that application, directly create one OneDrive file in your system, then use your Microsoft Access drive or MDB, ACC, files, then create one data source. Like this, you can create the data sources. Okay. So here, the another thing is here right now, which setup I did, MS SQL Server setup. To do the MS SQL Server setup, team, we required installation is required here. Probably I'll tell you how to do the installations, this process. First thing is installation is required. Okay. If you come back here, team, which installation is required? SQL Server Management. Okay. Try to install SQL Server Management Studio. So here, team, let me create one SQL Management Studio installation document. I'll just create SQL Server Management Studio installation document step by step. Follow those things to do the installation of MS SQL Server. Okay. So once it is done, guys, simply create one database. MS SQL Server. Create one database MS SQL Server and add into ODBC data source setup. Okay. How to add this one? The same process, guys, not much, just open ODBC data source here. Just enter here ODBC. Open this ODBC data source 64-bit. Let me search again. I'll add those all screenshots again here. So that will help you whenever you are doing some ODBC setup. Yes. So open in your system ODBC data source like this. Once you open this one, team, you are able to see this particular window. Within this particular window, so right now where you are exactly? So right now, team, so we are in a system DSN. Yeah, this is the location. I'm just removing this autofill values. Okay, let me give some border to this. Let me give the outline here. Yes. Go to the system DSN. Once you go to a system DSN, then click on add here. Okay. Click on add. And then once you click on add, which screen it is populated? New data source screen is populated here. Here, select MS SQL Server. Click on finish. So once you perform a click operation on the finish team, directly navigate to this respective window. So here you have to enter So in a name level, what features you have to enter? I'll make a note here. The name level, enter database name, and then in server level, so pass the enter MS SQL server information. Okay. So here, Tim, once you enter that, for example, I'm just giving here NIC. So my database name is NIC, and then give here server details. So I already captured earlier. Localhost SQL Express is my server name. Let me do rename here. Do you have any rename? Let's go to the properties. Hmm. This right side one, you can see the server name. I think already I have this server in my project level. You don't need to worry. So earlier I copied right this server. Do I mention in the chart? Not mention here. One second, let me bring this server details. So once you open this one, team, go to the project. This is my server, localhost SQL server. Go back to here. Just enter here. So once you enter these two details, I'm just adding these screenshots also. So as a reference into the document, okay? So once you enter all these details, then click on next. Click on next option. So once you click on next team, NIC data source name, it's already exists. It is giving an error. Okay. Let's give another name here. So once you use another name team, this is the screen, it is populated. Then take another screenshot for this particular one. In Tosca, for database, you can do any database automation, but the thing is must be required a setup for that. Okay. Then again, click on next. This is the another screenshot. Just keep it as it is. Again, perform click operation on next. Okay. So here, team, click on finish. Once you click on this finish icon, here you can see automatically it will populate this particular window. Once this window is populated, just perform a click operation on test data source. Okay, click on test data source. Once you click on test data source team, here it is telling the data source test is completed successfully. Everyone able to see? That means the connection is established to your MS SQL server is successfully completed. Once you've done these things, click on OK, and then apply and OK. That's it. Clear this database ODBC setup. Any questions, team? Okay. So this is the number of setup related stuff I already added here. This is the complete step-by-step information how to do the setup for MS SQL Server, how to do the setup for Microsoft Access Driver. Okay, that means OneDrive. OneDrive, Microsoft MS Office, we have OneDrive, right? That stuff is also added here. So team, once we're done with the setup team, just simply go to your Tosca commander and try to automate the scenarios. Okay. So to get the basic knowledge on these database options like SQL query language, structured query language, right? So simply use here one of the website. I'll just recommend you to go with this particular website. Basic. So let me use here. Learn basics of DB. To learn this particular basics of DB team, let's go back. I'm just taking copy here. So we do have one website W3 schools team. Use this website as a reference to learn the basics of SQL team. The basics, okay? How to write the query. If you're already familiar with this, then you no need to worry about that. You can directly work with Tosca with the DB. But if you're not familiar with this database system, just go through this website and try to understand what is databases and how to work with that. All these things we'll discuss. Okay. Okay. So let me show you this website in detail and in clear team. So here in this website, you can see SQLite, home, introduction, syntaxes. What are the syntaxes? It is available. Select a star from customers. That means we are just retrieving the customer table entire information. Then you can see all the customer details and tell us select with the distinct what exactly this distinct statement do and where order by and nor insert values insert into update delete so the minimum values and maximum values, the sum of all values, averages, everything. So somewhat of almost all basics it's added here by default. Just go through this and it will give some basic knowledge on database SQL queries too. Okay. So clear team, everyone, please confirm me. Okay. So coming back to here team, how to work with the database queries with automation. Let me choose here one of the connection team. We always use the standard modules to connect to the database. To connect to the database, we always use the standard modules on. Okay. So the first standard module is here DB open connection. DB open connection. And then DB close connection. DB runs equals 1 minute. Yes, team. So we use these standard modules like DB connection, close connection, and run SQL statement. So let me show you in a Tosca commander. If you go back to here in the standard module subset, you can see clearly the database folder. In this database folder, use all these standard modules to connect to the databases and to run some SQL queries here. Okay. So let me run one particular SQL statement to create a table structure. Okay. So just go to the project. Let's do checkout. I'm just creating one folder with the name as DB. Here, I'm just creating one module section. I think module creation is not at all required. Simply we create a test cases over here. Okay. In the test case section, just create one test case and name it as a create table. So in a create table structure, just simply do right click again, drag and drop completely what standard modules. And if you drag and drop your standard modules here, just give the connection name. The connection name is here, team NIC is the connection name. And the DSN connection is also same. Okay. There is no username password right now. Directly you can use the same connection NIC here. So if you have any specific connection string to connect to the respective databases, better you can give the connection string. But right now it's not required. So here two things must we have to follow. Whenever you are connecting your databases, make sure to open the connection and then close the connection before performing an action. So before running the SQL statement, make sure to open the connection. After execution of the SQL statement, make sure to close the connection here. So in between, write a SQL statement. Here you can see run SQL statement standard module. Drag and drop this module to test case and rearrange this one to the top. Here directly you can run the SQL statement. So to run this particular statement, what is the standard module? What is the SQL query we have to write? Create a table. So let me use create a table database here. This is a create table query. Let me show you. So create a table statement used to create a new table in a databases. Okay. So we always use the create command and then table name and column, first column. What is the first column? What type of data we have to enter in that particular column. Okay. So let me write this one. So create table tip. So to work with this particular create table, create table. The name of the table, I'm just taking EMB. So once you enter the name of the table, open the parenthesis, close it. Okay. The first column name, I'm just taking employee ID. Okay. So employee ID, it always holds the numeric values. If you want a numeric, just mention here as a int. Okay. Next one is employee name. So employee name is the character. The data type is here varchar. Varchar is the data type. And here the mention how many characters it should be. And employee location. The location is also kind of a character only. Just use the varchar again. Varchar of the 50 characters. Then employee. So how many columns are written right now? Employee ID, name, location, and the department. I want to give some department also. Just use here varchar of 50 characters. That means, Tim, whenever you are using these actions, like if you want to enter the first name of the employee, make sure The maximum character that column should accept only a 15 or 50 only. The first name or a location or the department name is, if it is exceed from 50 characters, it won't allow that table. Okay, copy this one and go back to your respective Tosca command. Just run this particular one. I just copied here the entire SQL statement. So coming back to here, Tim, this is a result table. In a database point of view, we use this result table only for two purposes. One is verification purpose. Another one, if you want to buffer the DB related option, just use the buffer actions here. That's it. Only these two actions we can perform. That is the reason they mentioned here very clearly. It is a kind of a result table. So the main purpose of this result table, we do two things. Read only. Okay. Either you can verify or you can buffer it. That's it. If you want to insert, if you want to modify using this result table, that is not at all possible. So always use this table to verify the data and buffer the data which is there in your database section. Clear? So right now I'm just creating one particular table in a database level. Let me do a run. So the script is running, just be wait. So let me check this stuff. So here SQL statement error is triggered. So already the database employee name is already existing. That is the reason this error is triggered. Let me rename this one. I'm just giving employee home. Okay. That's EST. So here you can see the connection is established successfully and the SQL statement is also executed successfully, and along with that the DB connection is also closed successfully. If you want to check the table in your system, just go to here. Let me check. I think it will take a default database in our MS SQL server, but let me do cross check. What is the name of the table I just mentioned? Employee home, right? The system tables, file tables, external tables, graph tables. So this thing is a kind of table name DBO. It will add a DBO in before that. Let me take a default database. There is here everyone able to see employee home table is added inside the master team. If you want to see that, let me show you here. I'm just opening the query. Just use the select query. Okay. Select a start from employee home. EMP home, okay? If you execute this one in the bottom of the screen, everyone able to see the employee structure. What structure we created right now? Employee ID, employee name, employee location, and employee department. Everyone able to see that team? Okay. So right now we just created one table inside the database. Okay. So once you create the table, you have to insert some data into this particular table, right? To insert right now, the table is empty. There is no data here. This is only a structure of the table. So to insert this particular data, or directly you can use insert query here. So here, Tim, I just explained individual standard modules here. We do have another standard module here. The another thing is here, insert data. Insert data into a database. So to do that, simply you can take existing standard module only. That is expert module. One thing you can use this individual standard modules. That is the one case. The another thing is here directly you can use expert module. Drag and drop this expert module to your test case. Just provide here itself you are just opening the connection, and here itself you are just closing the connection. Sorry. And then write the insert query, SQL query statement here. So to insert the query, just go to this site and I'll show you the query first, and later on I'll write the query. So here you can see the insert into query is there. The above one, this one. So insert statement we can do in two different approaches. One thing, insert into table values, that is direct approach. This is the direct approach. And here we are just stating the name of the column and which values within that column level you have to insert. So any one of these is perfectly fine. You can use any one of these. Okay. So right now what I'm doing now, I'll just use the insert into query table values. Okay. These are not a case sensitive. Simply you can write lower cases onto insert data query. If you want to insert data, insert into table name. What is the table? EMP home values. So which values you have to enter here? That is also very important. Employee ID. Employee ID is the 100. I'm just giving 100 or 1, what exactly. For numeric values, you can pass directly to, but if you are giving any name of the controls or characters, strings, make sure you have to enter within a single quotes. Okay. The Word document, it's not working for single quotes. That is the reason I just taking here. So I'm just giving a name is Nusha, and then again name is, location is a Hyderabad. So here I'm just taking a designation as a trainer. Okay. So once you're done with this team, if you run this SQL statement, it will create only one record in your table. Let me show you that. I'm just adding this query here. Once you add here, simply run this particular step. So the script is executed successfully, team. If you want to see the data in your table, simply go here. Just run the same SQL query to retrieve data. Everyone able to see the first record is entered here successfully. Yes. Okay. So this insert into query, it's running only one time, and even it is entering the one time, one record at a time. So if you want to enter more than one record stream, then use a repetitions here. Let me create one repetition. Insert sample data. So the sample data level, just take a copy of this data step and paste here. So what exactly I'm doing here, I'm just writing some dynamic expression to insert the dynamic data. So which expression can I use here, guys? Can I use random regular expression? So what is the expression flow we can use? Tell me. Let me remove these values. Within this double quotes, just define the characters. Capital A to Z. I'm just entering some dummy values here in 6 digits. Okay. That is the first name. In a location also, I'm just using same random regular expressions only. Just take a copy of this random regular. So here I'm just using 5 digits only. Okay. So in a designation level team, you can give any designation. I just mentioned here as a trainer one, right? Like let me use NIC underscore NIC. Use here some designation hyphen or underscore. Otherwise, give some space here and make it as R&D of some digit or numbering I'm giving it. That means the designation it is considering NIC department, either 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 5 like this. Okay, 2 digit numbers it will take. Right now I'm using some dynamic expression combination. Just define here. How many records you want? Simply go to your repetition folder and then define the number of record count here. I want almost 20 records. Okay. If you want 20 records, team, if you run this particular repetition folder directly, it insert the 20 records into your respective table. So here insert query is executed. Just go to your MS SQL server directly. Just select this one and execute. Everyone able to see the records is added, everyone. But what is the employee ID here? What is employee ID? For all employees, the same ID is returned because I just hard coded this value. So now, team, I want to update that employee ID if the person is N32. So who are having employee department number NIC 32, that person employee ID is 2. We have to update that. If you want to update that information, then use update query here. Okay, use update query. Just take a copy, rename this one to update. So see here, team. I'm just removing this one, expand it. So update query. Let me show you that's update query. So here, team, just take a copy. So update query, if you go to here itself, you can see update table name and which column you want to update, what exactly the condition here. So here within our table, we do have a number of records which is having employee ID. So you have to set up the thing here. So what is update query here? Just use update table. What is a table? EMP home. Okay. So what exactly value? Set a column. Okay. So Tim, what is the column here? Employee ID is equal to 2. This is what we are just planning to give. But where exactly it has to update? Where? That means condition team. Where employee department is equal to NIC 32. Who are having this NIC 32 account team? We are just asking them to update their employee ID as a 2. This is the SQL query. Okay. Just copy this query and paste it into that automation script. Then run now. Okay. So since the query is executed successfully, team, just come back here. Try to run this as select this query. So everyone able to see the employee ID is updated to 2. Team clear? Yes. So now come back to here, team. So Anusha, we understand create table, insert table. Those all are the developers do. Okay. But in real time, we are not the persons to create a data, right? In real time we cannot create the data. So what are the data? It's already exist. We always use to write some search queries only to filter the data. Okay now. So right now I'm just using here a select query team. Okay now. So if I'm using a select query, for example, select star from emp home, this is my table name. If I run this tip team, directly show the table in a maybe in MS SQL Server. If you run here directly, you can see the table structure here. But if you run in automation, you are not able to see the table structure, right? So what are the result table here? It is populated. This is the result table, right? What are the result table here? It is populated. You have to read that result table. You have to verify that result table, or you have to buffer that result table related information. Clear? To do that, so whenever you are using a select queries team, make sure you have to use the result table here. So here the number of rows level, just go back to the table, result table, steer property. How many rows are affected here? How many rows are affected whenever we are using search query? Total, how many rows are generated in our search table? So the number of rows affected in. So it will capture the count. So here it is executed successfully. Let's see what is the count it is added to the buffer. So this is the count. So the number of rows, total how many rows are affected? Are you able to see? So here team, it is taking a -1. Why it is taking a -1? Okay. So first of all, we have to understand this. So here I just written the query which is stating like affected rows, but I'm not writing any logic. So here asked Tosca to, I just asked Tosca to check affected rows here. So here the query, if you check the query, so this query, it always generates this query team, it always generates the result table. Let me use here row count. Will it work in a database level team? Because it is a table only, right? Let me use here row count. Yeah. If row count is not working, just try with result count. So here, team, the script is executed successfully here. So we'll do one thing. I'll just do cross check what value it is stored here in a buffer name. Go to the log info, just check the buffer name. Everyone able to see the row count totally how many rows are added in the result count? Yes, the number of rows are 22. If you want to take the column count, yes, you can take it. Okay. Now here, team, I'm just adding one particular search query here, stating like I want to check the number of records which are having a employee ID is equal to 1. So whenever you have some specific requirement, then use the where condition, where EMP is equal to, not EMP ID is equal to 1. So whenever you use this particular script, team, you can see now that time the row count is recommended or result count is recommended. Tell me. Result count. So here it is giving an error. Let me do cross check my query again. Select a star from employee ID where employee. Okay, let me check the employee underscore ID, team, not employee ID. Okay, I missed the underscore here. If I use row count directly, what happens? So the script is executed successfully. So successfully executed. If you check this particular one, script is executed successfully. Totally, how many rows are affected? Let me expand it. So the buffer name, what is the row number? 21. So earlier, what is the row number, team? 22. But right now, what is the row number? 21. See, here also, if you check the data clearly, what is the number of, what is the last row here? 21 row. That means the number of records itself, it is a 21 only. But whenever I'm using row count, then what is happening here? It is including the header of the row. Okay. So if you use some where condition here to make sure you have to use result count. Let me try with the result count. Employee ID. Okay. Just run. So if you run the same script in your MS SQL server, you are able to see the search result directly. If you go here, if I enter search query here, directly you can see the search result here. So let me show you the number of record. What is the result count here? Only one. Because the result count, it always adds the search criteria. So whenever I use employee IDs total, what is the row count here? 21. So I think the row count is the correct one. Clear, everyone? Okay, so today what I'll do, I'll just attach this MS SQL Server installation and server activation, everything step-by-step flow document. Try to install MS SQL Server in your system and do the ODBC setup. And later on, try to create tables, insert data, and then write some SQL queries as well. If possible, I'll give you a few more examples on tomorrow's class. Clear, guys, everyone? So please go with these practical sessions. Once it is done, let me know. Okay. We'll connect tomorrow, same time. Thank you all.